Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. Uh, and welcome back. Yesterday we talked about a lot of shit. The worst horror movies, horror sequels. Excuse me. Today we're talking about the best. In fact, they're so good they're better than the original. I'm gonna get in trouble with a couple of these picks, but I don't care because I think they're better than the original. Yes, same format as the last one. I would do 9, and then I will talk about my honorable mentions, and then I'll do another one. So, starting off with number 10, a movie that's absolutely better than the original. Terrifier 2. I know it's ungodly long, and that's the only problem is that it's long. But I think, as a sequel to Terrifier, the first one was very grindhouse, very one. It didn't have much of a budget. Very one setting, really, and it's just senseless violence. Where here you have a little bit more of a story, a little more of a connection. Until they ruined it, went kind of back to the style of the first one and the third one. Hopefully, the fourth one will come back around and we get a full story. But I really enjoy this one. It's just hard to kind of rewatch it. Like, you don't need the clown cafe. The whole scene you could take out of this movie, and it would take away nothing, because there's no point to it at all. There's no point to that scene. There's nothing at all. No point to it. But I think this is a big upgrade on the original. Before I continue, I said this in my last one, but I'm going to say it again. Aliens is not on this list because I do not consider it full horror. I consider it sci-fi action. All the rest I consider part of horror. But Aliens specifically, I think it leans more towards the action side. So for those who will complain, how could you not put Aliens on this list? I don't consider it horror. Okay? It's more action than anything. Action and sci-fi. Okay? Just saying. Number 9. It's funny because one of these films was in the worst, and now we're in one that's better than the original. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. And I've come to this realization. A lot of people hate the second film because of Jack Black. I want to get jiggy with it. But let me tell you something. I think that the newer characters are like, no shade against Helen and Barry. Barry was an asshole for the entire film. And Helen was selfish. Sure, they were their friends, but I don't know. Something about after the year, like at the beginning, it's fine, but you really get a sense that Barry's an asshole and she's selfish. And then, because, excuse me, they didn't get what they wanted, they're kind of just both assholes, then they die. Like, she's stupid for stopping before running into public. Where in this one, I like Brandy. I like Mekhi Phifer. I even like the new guy. I like the twist, okay? Will Benson? Ben's son. I thought it then, I think it now. I think it's a clever twist, okay? The only thing that I really don't like is the Ray stuff, where Ray is disconnected from everyone for some reason. I don't know if it's scheduling conflicts with him, like Neve Campbell in Scream 3, but I don't know. But I do really like this movie. I enjoy it. I like the setting, though it makes no sense. I do like it. I like this one better than the first, okay? Alright. Number 8. We can drink. Number 8 is from the Leprechaun franchise. A lot of gold to choose there. For years, I would have told you the first one is the best one. But, in recent times, I've come to appreciate the golden gem that is Leprechaun 3, which I don't have. Leprechaun 3. I think Leprechaun 3 is legitimately the best one. The best of the Leprechaun movies. And let me tell you why. So the first one, you take place on a farm. A lot of good stuff going on there. Lucky Charms, Then you got the second one, which I do like. But that's supposed to be the Leprechaun in the city. And because of the budget with Bridget, they did not utilize that. Here, it's Leprechaun in Las Vegas, and they utilize that shit. He's out on the strip. He's Thank you very much. With Elvis. He's in the casinos. They utilize it so well. And that's what works about this and the space one. Even the two that are in the hood. They're actually in the hood. He's actually in space. It works. I think this is the best of That's What Leprechaun in the Blank out of it. I think it's the best one. Period. And I like the main character. Not just because his name is Scott. Sure, his acting is not the best. But I like him. Number 7, and this is gonna get me in trouble. I don't care. Number 7, a horror sequel, definitely better than the original, is Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2. Now, my original list, I remember this. I put this as number 1 to make a point. That was just to make a point. I don't think it's the best of all these. Let me tell you why this is better than the original, okay? So I didn't grow up. I was too young. 1999, I was 12. Okay? So I didn't grow up with the original Blair Witch. I didn't was able to see it till well into the 2000s on DVD. And I watched it. The first time I watched it, I thought, this is kind of creepy. But then you grow up and you realize this movie is dog shit. That the best thing about this movie was the marketing that made it seem real. Then you watch it, and it's 3 people running around the woods for an hour and a half, yelling at each other. Constantly complaining, going off about a map that was kicked into the goddamn creek, which I do like that line. I kicked that shit into the creek, screaming, what the hell is that? At nothing. And then people will tell you, no, that's a good thing it's not there. It adds to the mystery. No, it don't. It makes them look fucking stupid. The movie, and this is like recent watches, it's a slog to get through. It's annoying because they won't shut the fuck up the entire film. And yes, you have some stupid ass dialogue in this. And I'm a fan of found footage movies. Grave Encounters. I think of it on my head, but I'm a fan of found footage films. But I do think that the best thing about that movie was the marketing. It's how it worked. In hindsight, you watch it with all of that, it's shit. It is. It's a bad movie. You have to finally admit this to yourself. The Blair Witch Project is a bad movie. The sequel is a big improvement, especially if you watch the cut that is similar to what was intended by the director. Because this version is not what the director wanted at all. You see, Artist Entertainment called the guys, Hacksaw Films, to say, hey, let's do a sequel. And they're like, well, actually, we want to take a little break. Like, okay, fuck you then. We'll get someone else to do it. They brought this guy in. He had an idea. He had a process. He shot the film, put everything together, and they went, nah, this is not what we want. He had an idea. The opening was supposed to be Witchcraft by Frank Sinatra. They went, no, that's not cool enough for the teen audience. R-rated film, by the way. For a modern audience. So they added Marilyn Manson's Disposable Teens. I do like that song, but I'm not a big Marilyn Manson guy, but I do like that song. Dun, 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 dun. And then they took footage that's supposed to be at the end of the film, shoved it at the beginning of the film, and then added little cuts throughout the film, spoiling what is supposed to happen. Right? The murder of the people. The other tour group, right? And then it's supposed to be a big shock. But then you have that at the beginning. It begins with Sheriff Cravens, or Jeffrey, interviewing Jeff, and it's like, we'll let you know that they're going to get arrested. And then you only see those 3, so you know those 3 are safe, and the other 2 are probably going to die. Right? I swear to Christ, it was an accident. I don't know, like I said. But it may sound like I'm complaining. I'm complaining about the stupid editing job that was ordered by the studio. I have seen a cut that is close to what the original director intended. And let me tell you, it is much better. It's the same movie, because they only move things around to the way they should be. There's no new scenes or anything. But maybe there's a couple of new, like, deleted scenes that were added or something. I don't know. But it is the better cut. It's more straightforward. It works better going straight forward as a film where you don't start with the interrogation. You just start out. You got the witchcraft, which does work better than Disposable Teens, by the way, because you don't get all the chopping stuff. So, yeah. And I've watched this so many more times than the original. So, yeah. Number 6, though. A horror sequel is better than the original. Army of Darkness. Now, you could put any of the other movies above it, really. A lot of people think that Evil Dead... No, Evil Dead is a better movie than Blair Witch Project. I'll put that up there. But it's not one I go back to because I do feel... You feel the... Because it's shot by film students, and you can feel that. Evil Dead 2 is an improvement, but I think if you want the perfect sequel to Evil Dead, you need this. It's Ash, the way you remember him. This is my boomstick. Hail to the chief, baby. Yeah. And whereas Evil Dead starts that way, swallow this. This is where he goes full circle. It's the Ash that you remember. Right? Like I said, you could put any other sequels on there. You could even put Evil Dead Rise, I would say, is better than the original. You know? But Army of Darkness, for me, is the pick from that franchise to be better than the original. Alright, so the next one is a bit tricky. Because this franchise has 3 films that people interchange as the best. And I never get to claim that the original is the best. I get that it holds a big value in film as one of the first of its kind in the genre to do it. But I've never gotten the love for it like everyone else does. But there are 2 sequels everybody goes back and forth on as to which is the better sequel. Dawn or Day? And in my opinion, the answer is Day of the Dead. Yes, I know what the original did for the zombie genre, and I know that a lot of people really love Dawn of the Dead. I am a fan of the remake myself. The original is good when there's no more room in hell. Dead walk the earth. Game 4A, by the way. Great film. I prefer this one. I don't know, something about when I watched this one. I gravitated to it more than Dawn. Maybe it's because of the villain and the way he goes on, Chokanam. I like it. I like the story. Maybe like military thing. I'm not a military guy, but maybe the military story to me is a little more compelling than people in a mall. I don't know. Like I said, I like Dawn. I do, but this is my favorite of those. Oh, Scotty's gonna get in trouble. Because I know a lot of people hold this movie in high regard. But I already said that the remake to that movie, is better. And I will stand on the hill. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 is better than the original. And I will give you one single, solitary reason why. Lick my plate, you dog, Nick. Dog will hunt. Bubba's got a girlfriend. Bubba's got a girlfriend. Bubba's got a girlfriend. That's right. Chop top, baby. Here's what was missing from the original to make it. I think the Hitchhiker, that one was fine, but I feel like it works. I feel like adding the comedy to it made it better. You know? And I like the original. But Franklin, I want to shoot him myself. I want to grab the chainsaw from Leatherface and put it through him myself in that movie, man. Just... He couldn't die fast enough. Okay? This is one, you got Dennis Hopper. Forgot his name for a second there. Great role for him as Lucky. And I like Stretch as the final girl, though the ending is kind of weird for me. But, yeah. Alright, another one that people are probably going to... But I think there's more people gravitating towards this movie. Exorcist 3. Yeah, it's just because I'm not one of those for exorcism type movies to begin with. I acknowledge that The Exorcist is in there, in that niched etched itself into that cultural zeitgeist in horror history. But I'm just not a fan of it. This plays more like a police procedural with horror elements, and it works. It really works. I think it's better than the original because, well, you got George C. Scott. That makes it better anyway. Not that Jason... He's on here. Jason Miller was in anything. He's in this too, by the way. And I would love to see... I know there's a Shout Factory Blu-ray that has what is the Legion cut. I would love to see that because, again, the studio, Morgan Creek, it's the production, whatever. They forced exorcism stuff in this because William Peter Blatty, he wrote Legion. They wanted to make a movie out of it. He did a script. He shot it. Boom. Showed he showed a cut to Morgan Creek, and they go, "There's no exorcism. You can't have a movie called The Exorcist without exorcism." And he goes, "This is not an Exorcist movie. It's Legion." They go, "We're gonna call it Exorcist 3. You gotta put an exorcism in it." So they forced an exorcism in it. They brought in Jason Miller, who kind of shared the role with Brad Dourif. But I feel like this is better. And that jump scare, you know what I'm talking about? That jump scare, which I could edit. Yeah. All right, we're down to the top 2 now. And number 2 is going to be Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Shut up, Blades. You hear that? They were quiet. It's nighttime. Go sleep. Friday the 13th, the final chapter. I always go back and forth on whether this or 6 is the best. I'm going to stand on that it's the final chapter, the 4th film. I feel like Ted White, great Jason. Richard Brooke is my personal favorite, but Ted White is a great Jason. Yeah, little Corey Feldman. Usually, like the characters, I think, are the best characters in this franchise, and I will stand on that. The introduction of Tommy Jarvis, just the way that Jason goes down, he gets that machete and then die. Just Tom Savini came back to kill his baby, then they kept going. So yeah, better than the original because I think besides the effects in the first one, my voice is going out, I'm so sorry. Besides the effects in the first one, I think it's crap. The story sucks. The reveal of Pamela Voorhees sucks. Because it's a whodunit. But we don't actually meet her till the end of the movie. She's not in the movie till the end, really. We don't not introduced to her till then. So we don't know who she is. It's like, some old lady. Okay. And like, the characters are bad. Because people think, it's a horror movie, no one cares about the characters. Well, that's not exactly true. But anyway. Yeah. So before we get number 1, honorable mentions. My voice is going out and I'm so sorry for that. The last video I'm doing anyway. We got Boogeyman 2. I mentioned in the honorable mentions of, or dishonorable mentions of the last one I should say, Boogeyman 3. But I think Boogeyman 2 is a step up from the first one because you have this, it's set in a mental institution. With this character, there's instead of one person who's traumatized, it's 2. And the brother Henry has been in there for the longest time. When he gets out, then she gets sent in there. And I'm going to spoil it, by the way, spoilers. Where the boogeyman has shown up, he's killing off all these people, and it's revealed that it's actually her brother Henry. And when Dr. Jigsaw, because it's Tobin Bell, locked him in the closet, the boogeyman possessed him. So he has boogeyman powers now. That's when he gets revenge on all of them. And then she gets blamed for it. But then you don't follow that up in the next one. You go, oh no, it's just supernatural again. Which doesn't make any sense. The Grudge 2. Superior sequel to the first one, I believe. I mentioned The Grudge 3 in the last one. It's a superior sequel because it follows up on that. And it's one of those things where they kill off the character from the first one. Sure, but you can follow her sister. And I like Amber Tamlin better as a character. Her character better than Karen. Because, like, she's actually trying to do stuff in this one. And it jumps back and forth. Like the original, but I think it works better in this one. And I like the reveal towards the end. And then they ruined it with the third one. Most like they did. The Purge election year, the best of the Purge movies, and I will not. You could say like 2 and 3. Well, Anarchy in this are better. I should put Anarchy in this too. They're both better than the original because the first Purge is fine. The Purge, because The Purge is fine. The first Purge movie, I should say. The Purge is fine, but the two subsequent sequels are really good and better than the first one. Then you got the first Purge, which is a prequel, and then the Forever Purge, which is just like, can you just end it, please? And I heard they were making another one. I don't know. Summer Party Massacre 2. I mentioned Summer Party Massacre 3 and the other one, but Summer Party Massacre 2 is better than the original because you got the Let's Bump. That guy with the guitar, drill guitar, whatever you want to call it. Critters 2. It's an Easter movie, and it's better than the first one. Even though the first one's got the power of the night, this one has the big critter ball. The Easter Bunny gets attacked. It's just fun. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. I mean, it's still crap, but it's better than the first one. They're starting to try. And of course, Dawn of the Dead. Yeah, so my number one, you've probably already figured it out. We're the Dream Warriors. Ain't gonna dream no more. My voice is going out, I'm so sorry. Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors. Definitely better than the original. A lot of people will stand on a mountain, on a hill, and say, no, the original is still the best. But this is where Freddy is at his best. Welcome to prime time, bitch. Let's get high. You know, the whole thing. And it brings back Heather Langenkamp. Introduced, like, the way for them to fight him. You know, I always felt like, yeah, we have powers, we can fight Freddy. But he still just kills a couple of them off anyway. And I love me. Joey. Joey is teenage me. Horny dude. Just horny dude. Horny. And you got, what was his name? Kruger Pussy! I can't think of his name. Roland Kincaid. Kincaid, you have him. Patricia Arquette's in this. I wish they had brought back Craig Wasson to do more in this franchise, but he just... Especially since the tease for the next one was the little house he has lighting up, and he's not involved in the plot. You'd think he would be running to help them once he finds out that all three of the survivors of the last film are now dead. And he'd be like, uh-oh, he's back, and he shows back. No, they just don't bring him back. But, yes, this is Chuck Russell, of course. Directed this. Yes. Number one, sequel better than the original. Nightmare on Elm Street 3. That's right. I know a lot of people's lists where we like this. A lot of people put Child's Play 2 on the list. I don't think it's better than the original. I'm sorry. Some people like Hellraiser 2 better than the first one. I don't. I like the first one. So there's that. But yeah. So what are your thoughts on my list? What are your 10 horror sequels that are better than the original? Let me comment so much, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.